In a world where diplomatic surprises are rare, one event stunned the global stage. Pakistan's army chief, General Asim Munir, formally recommended U.S. President Donald J. Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. The reason? Munir credited Trump with pulling India and Pakistan, two nuclear rivals, back from the brink of war. This gesture from Pakistan's military, a powerful force in the country, was unprecedented and immediately sparked debate worldwide. For decades, U.S.-Pakistan relations have swung between cooperation and mistrust, especially on security issues. Munir's public praise signaled a possible shift, casting Trump as a central peacemaker in South Asia. The claim, Trump's direct engagement was the decisive factor in averting a catastrophic conflict. This nomination forced the world to reconsider Trump's diplomatic legacy. Was he truly the master dealmaker he claimed to be? The context: a period of intense military confrontation between India and Pakistan, with fears of nuclear escalation at an all-time high. But as the world debated, the motivations and truth behind this Nobel recommendation became a hotly contested issue. The Nobel recommendation wasn't just a letter. It led to a high-profile meeting in the Oval Office. President Trump welcomed General Munir, giving the Army chief a rare platform to explain his nomination face-to-face. In Pakistan, the Army chief often wields more power than the civilian government, making this meeting a significant diplomatic moment. The discussion focused on the South Asian crisis and Trump's role in de-escalating tensions. For Trump, it was a chance to showcase his foreign policy prowess. For Munir, an opportunity to strengthen ties with Washington. The summit was a calculated display of mutual validation, aligning both countries, at least temporarily, around a shared narrative of crisis averted. For Pakistan, it was a strategic move to rebuild relations. For Trump, a political win to bolster his image as a global peacemaker. The meeting cemented a fleeting but powerful alignment of interests between Washington and Islamabad. General Munir's Nobel recommendation rested on the claim that Trump's intervention prevented nuclear war. The crisis between India and Pakistan had reached a boiling point, and Trump's direct engagement was credited with breaking the cycle of escalation. By nominating Trump, Munir placed him in the tradition of global peacemakers. For Pakistan, this was a diplomatic gesture to improve strained U.S. relations and flatter a president who valued public praise. The move also served to align Pakistan with Trump's self-image as a unique problem solver. But the nomination exposed the politics of peace. While Pakistan saw Trump as a hero, others, especially India, disputed this narrative. The result? A new point of contention, with the Nobel Prize at the center of a geopolitical tug-of-war. To grasp the crisis's gravity, we must revisit the India-Pakistan conflict, rooted in the disputed region of Kashmir. Since 1947, Kashmir has fueled wars and skirmishes, with both nations claiming it entirely. The nuclear capabilities of both countries make every flare-up potentially catastrophic. The latest crisis began with a terrorist attack in Indian-administered Kashmir, followed by Indian airstrikes in Pakistan. Pakistan retaliated, leading to aerial dogfights and the capture of an Indian pilot. For days, the world watched as both sides mobilized, fearing escalation. Pakistan claims U.S. diplomacy, led by Trump, was the key to de-escalation. In a region where war is always a risk, any intervention that halts violence is seen as monumental, at least by some. While Pakistan praised Trump's peacemaking, India flatly denied any third-party involvement. New Delhi insisted its de-escalation decisions were made independently, guided by national interests. This stance directly challenged the Nobel narrative and reinforced India's policy of bilateralism, resolving disputes with Pakistan without outside interference. India's message, releasing the captured pilot and stepping back from conflict, was its own sovereign choice. This narrative projects strength and strategic autonomy, crucial for India's domestic and international image. The contrast between Indian and Pakistani accounts created a diplomatic puzzle. Was Trump's role exaggerated by Pakistan, or is India downplaying U.S. influence? What's clear? India's denial undermined the claim that Trump was the sole architect of peace, turning the Nobel nomination into a source of friction. President Trump has never shied away from claiming credit for averting disaster. He publicly stated his administration was instrumental in preventing a very dangerous war between India and Pakistan. Trump's narrative: his team was in constant contact with both sides, using economic leverage and personal diplomacy to broker peace. The Nobel nod from Munir was, for Trump, overdue validation. His approach, linking trade and security, was classic transactional diplomacy. Supporters saw this as proof of his unique deal-making skills. Critics called it self-promotion. The India-Pakistan episode became a showcase for Trump's disruptive, results-driven foreign policy. Pakistan's praise for Trump was more than gratitude. It was a calculated diplomatic move. By endorsing Trump, Pakistan aimed to reset relations with Washington and improve its own global image. The Nobel recommendation positioned Pakistan as a responsible actor, countering its reputation for instability. It also gave Pakistan leverage against India, suggesting New Delhi responded to international pressure. This narrative put India on the defensive and highlighted U.S. influence in the region. For Pakistan, the endorsement was a low-cost, high-impact gesture that appealed to Trump's desire for recognition. It rebuilt bridges with Washington and reframed the crisis in Pakistan's favor. Regardless of the facts, Pakistan's strategic diplomacy paid off, at least in the short term. Trump's Nobel nomination split public opinion in the U.S. and abroad. Supporters saw it as proof of his effective leadership. Critics called it political theater. India's denial fueled skepticism, with many viewing the move as a ploy by Pakistan to curry favor with Trump. The international community was divided. Some praised unconventional diplomacy, others saw it as destabilizing. The battle over the narrative became central. Was this genuine peacemaking or self-serving spin? In a polarized world, verifying back-channel diplomacy is nearly impossible. People chose sides based on their beliefs about American leadership. The Trump-Munir Nobel story became less about facts and more about what people wanted to believe. The Trump-Munir Nobel episode encapsulates the Trump era's foreign policy: bold, personal, and transactional. The Oval Office meeting and Pakistan's praise highlighted a results-driven, unconventional approach. This style produced breakthroughs, but also confusion and division among allies and rivals. Pakistan embraced U.S. intervention. India fiercely rejected it, showing how even peacemaking can spark new tensions. In South Asia, perception is as important as reality, and interventions are fraught with risk. For Trump supporters, this was disruptive leadership. For critics, it was reckless. The India-Pakistan crisis will remain a case study in the complexities of modern diplomacy. Whether Trump truly prevented war or simply claimed credit, the legacy is one of ambiguity and lasting debate.